I don't even know. What? Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk to you about my top books of 2014. 2014 was an okay reading year for me. Usually I have a really hard time deciding which books I want to put in these top videos or worst videos, but it wasn't as hard for me to choose this year. I just kind of sat in front of my computer and was like, this one, and the other ones didn't shine as much as they did, but I did read some really good books, and I'm going to share those with you today. I have 10 top books, so I will just get started and share those with you guys. Number 10 of 2014 actually really surprised me, and it's The One by Keira Cass. This is the third book in the Selection series now. I think she's writing more books, which I think is really awesome. This book really surprised me. The first book, The Selection, was really good in my opinion. The second book was kind of a bridge book. It was just trying to get from one book to the other. I wasn't expecting that much from this book, but then I read it and I cried. I'm pretty sure I cried, and I'm pretty sure that I was freaking out and everything, and wow, I really enjoyed this book. It wasn't like the best book I've ever read in my whole entire life, but it was entertaining, and I walked away from it wanting to read more, and now I can. So number 10, The One by Keira Cass. Number 9 is actually one of the most recent reads that I have read, and it's My True Love Gave to Me by various authors. And this one is so cute. It's probably one of the best holiday books I have ever read, and I'm probably going to end up reading it every year because of this fact. It is so cute. I think my favorite stories in this anthology are the ones written by Jenny Han, Stephanie Perkins, and Kirsten White. Those three were my loves. There were some stories in there that I probably could have gone without, but overall, as a book, I'm probably going to read this every Christmas now because it's just so cute. I loved it, and I'm really glad that I picked it up right before the holidays. Number 9, My True Love Gave to Me by various authors. Number 8 is The History of Love by Nicole Krauss. And this one actually has a weird story to it because I had never heard of it before, and I probably would have never found it if it wasn't for Tumblr and one of those like quotes that you see when you're scrolling down on your dash and you just find these quotes and you decide to read one of them because hey, maybe because it's so long it means that it's really good. And I decided to do that one day, and I read this quote about a story about a boy and a girl, and it was probably one of the cutest, most wonderful things I have ever read. So I added it to my list, and then I decided to read it this year, and oh, it's so beautiful. It's really complicated too. I don't even know how to explain it. It has 3 different stories happening at once, and by the end they all intermingle and you figure out how they all have to do with each other, but they all kind of revolve around this book called The History of Love. And I know this is probably one of the worst synopsises ever for this book, but honestly you can't really describe it because it's just beautiful. And even if when I read the back of this book I didn't want to read it because it didn't sound like what I had read on Tumblr, but I'm so glad that I picked it up because it's really great. My book was stickied for days. There were so many stickies in it, it was crazy, and I just loved it. Number 8, The History of Love by Nicole Krauss. Number 7 is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This one was actually a big surprise to me. I didn't think that I was going to like this book, or I was kind of nervous about this book because I heard that it was kind of like a mystery, and y'all know me with mysteries. I don't do well. I don't like it. I can't. But I could with this book, and my librarian at my high school that I went to at the time gave me this and said that I had to read it, and every book that I have read that she has given me has been amazing. So I decided to pick it up right after she gave this to me, and it's beautiful. I just really like it. You can't describe what this book is about. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen other booktubers talk about this book, and everyone says that you can't talk about what this is about. You have to go into this blind, and it's true. I really didn't understand what this book was about, and I just went into it blind, and that was probably one of the best ideas I could ever decide to do. And it's just, it's wonderful. There's a twist at the end, I'm sure, as most of you know, and I didn't see it coming. I was surprised, and usually mystery doesn't do that to me. So, yeah, the mystery in this, which this is not a mystery novel, don't get me wrong, just the mystery aspects in this, they worked for me. So, I like this one. Number 7, We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Number 6 is the Saga graphic novel comic book books. As a whole, I love those books. I remember I saw Alan Janae talking about them, and I was just like, okay, I need to get my hands on these books. So I ordered the 3 volumes that had come out already, and I read them all within like 2 days or something. And I'm pretty sure if I didn't have school, I probably would have read them quicker. But these books are just awesome. This book is set in space, and there are 2 different like worlds or planets that are like at war, and then one of the guards falls in love with one of the prisoners, and they just love and happiness and fighting, and synopsis, I'm horrible at this. Just go read them. The 4th one has already come out, and I am stoked. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Number 6, the Saga. Because after, like, you know, like the Twilight Saga, the Saga, is that how it would be? I don't even know. The Saga books. Number 6, the Saga books. Number 5, Persepolis 1 and Persepolis 2 by Marjane Satrapi. And these 2 books were actually really surprises to me because I read them for school. My college does this thing where over the summer all the freshmen have to read a book, and then they all go into different classes taught by different teachers from all different departments, and then the teacher can do whatever they want with that class pretty much. And I really enjoyed reading this book. It's about a girl growing up during the Iranian Revolution. It's just showing, like, from her eyes what it was like to live through this, and it's actually a memoir. And I think that there is brilliance in making one's memoir a graphic novel set in the view of a child, because I feel like I saw things that I probably wouldn't have been able to see through the eyes of anyone besides a child. And I think I'm a little biased because I do want to be an elementary school teacher, so I was looking at this, like the psychology of what this child was seeing and what was going on in her brain and all this kind of stuff, and like behavior stuff, but also because the story is just really awesome. And I think that, I don't know, I love this story, and I think that y'all should check it out because it's just really great. It's wonderful. Number 5, Persepolis 1 and 2 by Marjane Satrapi. Number 4 is Butter by Erin Lange. This one was actually one of the first books that I read this year, or towards the beginning of the year, like pre-March. This book is about a boy who is called Butter because he is overweight, and that just hurts my heart. Oh my gosh, that hurts my heart. And he's sick and tired of people making fun of him for his weight, and because he like perceives to be by anyone who just looks at him. So he decides that on a specific night he is going to eat himself to death on live stream online. And this book just really took my heartstrings and pulled them hard. I cried. I have a really big thing with people judging other people before they get to know them. And this book, there were some things that some of these kids would say that just ripped me in two. I can't understand how someone can be so mean to another person. This book just really hit me hard, and I loved it. It's really good. Number 4, Butter by Erin J. Lange. Top 3, Top 3, Number 3 on my list is Golden Boy by Abigail Tartellin. This book is about a boy named Max, and Max's whole life he's known that he's been intersex, which means that he is neither male nor female, but he feels like inside that he is more male. And then things happen in Max's life, and he has to deal with those hardships and things that happen, and we just follow Max as he deals with this. And this book is called Golden Boy because Max is like the most popular boy in school, and this book just follows him as he's going through these problems, and this kind of ripped down my heartstrings too. There is a really big aspect in this book that the synopsis hints, but I was not sure that it would happen, and then it happened, and like I was in pain, and it hurt me like down to my core, and I couldn't. I don't even know. This book is good. You should pick it up. You should pick it up. Number 3, Golden Boy by Abigail Chartellen. Number 2 was actually a surprise, and I probably would have never picked this up if it was not for the librarians at my school. Honestly, they're so amazing. I kind of wish that I was back in high school just for them, but then I think about high school and I'm just like, nope. Anyways, book number 2 is The Night Bookmobile by Audrey Niffenegger, and this book is a tiny little graphic novel, and it's probably only about like at most 60 pages, and this is like children's book kind of pages, so it's not thick at all. And it's just a story about this night bookmobile that this lady gets on. In this bookmobile is everything that she has ever read in her whole entire life. And I don't even know, this book kind of changed my life. I can't even explain it. It's just beautiful. It's really beautiful, and I've had a couple of my friends read it, and every single one of them put it down and was just like, what? And that's the explanation for this book. What? You just can't. You can't. Number 2, The Night Bookmobile by Audrey Niffenegger. And we have finally made it to the most wonderful, the best, the most wonderful the book of 2014, and I can't speak English or human words apparently. The best book that I read in 2014 was Bird by Crystal Chan. I freaking loved this book. This book took me on a trip. It like sat me down, and like I had to like put on a seatbelt, and then I like picked up the book and we were just gone. This book follows a young girl named Jewel, and on the day Jewel was born, her brother, who her grandfather used to call Bird, jumped off of a cliff because he actually thought he was a bird. And Jewel kind of just has to live with the knowledge that on the day she was born, her older brother died. And I love this book because we follow Jewel, who is so smart but so young, and we just get to see everything in her life, and I just love it. Her grandfather no longer talks, and her parents are not the same since then. Like, ever since she was born, they're not the same people. I love this book even more because Jewel is half Mexican and half Jamaican, and we are following her through her story with her culture, with just her whole life, and I learned so many things that I didn't know because all this was integrated into this book. And I can't even this book like just this book took me on a ride. I had to sign a waiver, like, or something, because this book just took me to a place that I have never been before, and I loved it. I have a thing with when kids are narrators and they're treated like the most important thing ever. I love that. Or when a kid is a narrator and the reader cannot doubt that they are not important because they are just kids, that makes me happy. I feel like with other middle grade books, this is middle grade by the way, I never said that, but with other middle grade books that are in the point of view of a child, you can tell that this kid's point of view is not taken seriously, or that this kid knows that they're not taken seriously, so they don't do specific things or something. But I really enjoyed this book because from the first page on, I knew that Jewel knew that she was important and what she was saying had to be true. And I don't even know what? So the best book of 2014 was Bird by Crystal Chan. Thank you guys for watching this video of the best books of 2014, and I can only hope that I will read more books that are really awesome in 2015. In the next couple of days, I should be putting up a worst books of 2014 because I read some doozers. I read some interesting ones. I wish you all a happy new year, and I will see you probably in the new year or something. We'll see. Love you all. Bye.